Hello, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to make a dimensioned drawing file for the Puzzle Cube project. Now I am looking at this assignment from Google Classroom. This is under Unit 4 Modeling Skills, and this is under Puzzle Cube project. So if you scroll down to, this is your design brief, everything that your project has to include with the criteria, constraints, etc. If you scroll down to the second page, this is your procedure. So we've done steps 1 through 4 together in class. Step 5A, everyone should have that completed. Step B is assembling your Puzzle Cube pieces. That is on Inventor. C is creating individual working drawings of each puzzle piece and include dimensions and annotations. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that first. If you are having trouble with assembly, maybe skip assembly and go to these working drawings because they're a little bit easier and you can usually complete those independently. So what you're going to do is go ahead and open up Inventor. Get that out of the way. Open up Inventor, and this is Inventor 2018, so it might look a little bit different than mine, but most things will be very similar. So you'll go New, and it might ask you, what type of file are we making? Well, we are going to make a standard IDW Inventor drawing file. On your project down here, make sure this is still set to Puzzle Cube project. Mine is not, because I've already done this project, but this is, you definitely want to make sure that that's set. So go ahead and click Create. And from here, it opens and it looks like a sheet of paper. So this is where we're going to create our working drawing. Now, if you are like me and you are not seeing your project browser over here, I think I actually deleted that on accident. And if that is you, I can show you really fast how to get that back. You want to go up to View, User Interface, and believe it is iLogic. Yeah. And you can also turn on your mini toolbar if needed. So that is how you get this information pulled back up. On your drawing, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to change the size of this paper. The standard size is 11 by 17 for all engineering technical drawings. That is size D. If you scroll in here to your title block, it will tell you that this is size D, 11 by 17. However, we are going to change that to be 8.5 by 11, just the regular size of regular copy paper, so that when we print all this out to go in your portfolio, it prints nice and neat and doesn't cut off anywhere. So in order to do that, if you click on this little plus sign here, this will give you more options for things to add into your browser. I'm going to add my model, and that's going to give me some more options for this page. Again, yours might already be there. I just accidentally deleted mine off. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go change the size of my paper. So if you hover over Sheet 1, we're going to right click, and we're going to edit sheet. So right now, again, we are at size D, which is the standard. We're going to change that to size A, which gives you your normal paper size of a height of 8.5, width of 11. Go ahead and tell it OK. And that's going to change the size of your paper. Now, this box right here, this is called a title block, and it gives you information about the project. It tells you who created it, when. We're going to add a title to it. Right now, it is called ANSI Large. We are going to delete that and put a much smaller version, just so it doesn't take up as much room on our paper. So to do that, we're going to right click and delete. Now, to get the right size title block, you're going to open this folder. You're going to go into the title blocks folder, and we are going to insert ANSI A. And I'm doing that, I'm just double clicking. You could probably also right click and hit insert. So it's a little smaller and much easier to see. From there, let's go ahead and title our project. To do that, we're going to go up to the Annotate tab on your ribbon. We are going to click Text. And before we can add text, we have to add a text box for where we're going to place our text. So I'm just going to click and drag. And I'm going to call this Puzzle Cube, oops, project. You can change the font, you can change the size. I'm just going to leave it to the default for today. All right. So now that you have your paper set up, it's ready. You are ready to go ahead and bring your part into this document. So what we're going to do is back up on the ribbon. We're going to go to the tab that says Place Views, and we're going to click Base. So this is going to have us bring in our puzzle cube piece. So you will probably have to click on the little magnifying glass to open your folder and find the piece that you want. I'll just start with my green piece. I'll go ahead and click Open. Let's see, I'm gonna restore that. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring in your puzzle cube piece. Now, it's going to bring it into the front view that you have it created in. If this is not the best front view for this piece, you can rotate and find another view. Again, right here in this orientation, in the bottom left of your paper should be whatever the best front view is. And we talked about, front view is the shortest or the longest dimension, fewest amount of hidden lines. So for me, for this green piece, this is the best front view. Now, you can also change the size. If you're thinking like that's too big, it takes up too much room. You can scale this down to half scale and it'll go a little smaller for you. If it's too small and you want it to be larger, you can make a 2:1 scale. This is way too large though, because that's taken up almost half of this side of the page. So I'm going to leave mine as a 1:1 scale because it looked okay on there. So I'm going to place my front view here. And the nice thing about Inventor is that I know I had to have my top view in the top left corner. And you can see that the dotted lines kind of show you exactly how that's going to line up nice and neat. So I'm just going to click to place it there. And then I'm going to place my right side over here. And I'm also going to place an isometric in the top right, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and on my style options, I'm going to click on this last one and call this shaded so that these will show up shaded in that green color. All right, you can go ahead and say okay. And there they are. So something I'm not totally happy with is that these two are touching. If you look over here in your project browser, anytime you highlight here, it also highlights, so this is view 4 and it highlights view 4 over in your browser. So I'm just going to move the view 4 up a little bit so that those are not touching anymore. Another really cool thing is that since this was our front view was our base, if you move it, it will actually move the top and the right side as well. So I think that's really nice that it keeps those all aligned for you. All right, so now that you have your piece placed where it needs to go, now we need to go annotate and add dimensions, okay? On Google Classroom, I've added a resource for you called Dimensioning Guidelines. So it goes through like the main rules for dimensioning. Basically, you need to include dimensions. Your dimensions should never overlap. Place them in between views, adjacent views whenever possible. Number 8, avoid dimensioning to hidden lines. Guys, do not dimension to hidden lines. You will be counted wrong. That is not proper. We do not do that unless it's absolutely necessary, but usually we can get around that. Do not over dimension. You do not want to add duplicate dimensions. I'm not going to read all of these to you guys, but we'll go through some of these when I come back from my meeting. I'll go ahead and show you how to dimension though. So it's very simple. We just hit dimension and I'm going to click on this left side, click on the right side, and then I'm just going to pull up to get that overall width. All right. Now I want to get the width of this part. So I'm going to click again on the left. I'll click here. Now, something else you don't do, your dimensions should never overlap like this. This is not good practice. It is very difficult to read. So if you want, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and delete. So you're going to click on your dimension. Whoops. Click on your dimension or hover over your dimension. Right click and delete. I'll show you the proper way, and that's to go here to here, and place it right there. So width, I'm good. I've got my overall width. I've got the width of that little notch. I'm going to do height over here on my right side. So I'll get my overall height, 2 1/4. And then I'll get the height of this guy. And then the only other dimension that I need to add is overall depth. So from front to back, and 0.75 again. All right, so this is how you create a drawing file and add dimensions. If you have any questions, please email me or let me know. And then definitely you want to check out your dimensioning guidelines and make sure you're following all of those. Good luck and have a good couple days with your sub.